Since the publication of that report 2 weeks ago, I've spoke to a number of victims and they came forward and rang me that week. The victims that were referenced in the report, but also other victims of CSE in Oldham, and speaking to those people and how it has affected their lives, and they were, you can't say it's destroyed their lives, because the people I spoke to, it hasn't, but it has had an impact into adulthood.
Amanda Chadderton is making waves on social media, saying grooming gangs don't ruin their lives when talking about the impact of abuse on survivors. These are some pretty awful things for a politician to say, and yet somehow she's still serving as Yvette Cooper's campaign manager.
But I need to be clear what this strategy won't do. It won't satisfy, as we can hear tonight, those who do not agree with the finding that the council did not seek to cover up either the issue of CSE or the difficulties in tackling it. Those people, and there are some of them in this room tonight, are not happy with this report and its findings, but equally those people will not be happy with a second independent review or inquiry led by another body or bodies unless that report found something that's proven to be untrue. We did not cover up CSE in this town. We cannot keep having inquiry after inquiry seeking a different answer to the same question. It serves nobody. It would not deliver justice for historic victims, it would not secure further convictions for perpetrators of this horrendous, abhorrent crime, and it would not help us shift our current social care practice on towards becoming good. Instead, we must keep improving and keep learning while acknowledging the challenges and failings of the past, securing justice, supporting victims, raising awareness and taking ownership. Those things need to be our areas of focus as we move forward. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
In 2022, Amanda Chadderton, then leader of Oldham Council, stood before cameras and council chambers with a declaration that now reads more like a confession of failure than an assurance of integrity. We did not cover up C in this town. We cannot keep having inquiry after inquiry. Deliver justice. To survivors, campaigners, and the betrayed communities of Oldham, this statement wasn't just a tone-deaf dismissal of mounting public anger. It was an insult wrapped in bureaucratic arrogance, because the evidence has been mounting for years. And now, with each passing month, it becomes painfully clear. They did cover it up, and they're still doing it. Grooming gang scandals, institutional neglect, and politically convenient silence have haunted Oldham and other northern towns for decades. Children, many from broken homes, care systems, or minority backgrounds, were systematically abused while those in power looked away. Why? Because justice, apparently, was too politically inconvenient. The 2022 independent review, commissioned under public pressure, was riddled with omissions. Survivors said they weren't interviewed. Key council figures mysteriously lacked recollection. The police, Greater Manchester Police, still reeling from its own failures, remained elusive. Meanwhile, council leaders like Chadderton made sweeping declarations that more inquiries were somehow counterproductive. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Refusing to investigate doesn't spare the victims more trauma. It spares the guilty more scrutiny. We're told inquiries won't deliver justice. But when every inquiry is defanged, narrowed, or redirected, who decides what justice looks like? Politicians who fear their own involvement. Police departments worried about reputation. Civil servants more interested in diversity targets than safeguarding children. And let's not forget the recurring pattern. In towns like Rotherham, Rochdale, Telford, and Oldham, whistleblowers were ignored or punished. Victims were branded as unreliable, unstable, or, worst of all, making lifestyle choices. Behind closed doors, officials exchanged emails full of warnings and chose to do nothing. The failures in Oldham are not just historical. They're ongoing. Victims and survivors still report being dismissed. Frontline workers are still gagged. Journalists are still stonewalled. Council figures, rather than showing humility, double down on defensive platitudes. Amanda Chadderton's refusal to endorse further inquiries speaks volumes, not about the futility of investigation, but about the terror that true accountability might bring. Her words, "We cannot keep having inquiry after inquiry after inquiry," echo the fatigue of institutions, not victims. It is the weary sigh of a council, tired of being questioned, not a child tired of being abused. In truth, Oldham doesn't need fewer inquiries. It needs the right ones, with teeth, with transparency, and with people at the helm who are willing to let the chips fall where they may, even if it means careers, reputations, or political alliances crumble. Until then, justice remains locked behind a wall of cowardice and complicity, and the gatekeepers are still holding the keys. This isn't just a failure of leadership, it's a betrayal, and the people of Oldham deserve better.
So?
Yeah.
Can I ask what you're here for, please? I am.
I'm Sergeant Marshall.
Right. Please stay there. The reason I'm filming you is because I'm sick of the harassment. Every time I open the door to one of your officers, they are filming me. So now you know how it feels. Now it is 2:30 in the morning. Can I ask why for a second time tonight you are disturbing me and my son in my home?
Yeah, because there's I've been made aware there's videos that have been posted onto social media, including those that were made this morning.
This morning? What made this morning?
And of my officers that have been round this evening.
Right, and?
So I'm here to kindly ask that you remove said videos from social media. If you do
No, I don't think I've broke the law, so I don't think I will.
If you... And also, I want to advise you that you might well be committing offences under the Malicious Communications Act, okay?
Okay, well, I'm sure Dame Diana Johnson will explain that to me when she sees the video, won't she? She is a qualified barrister. She wasn't a director of social services, so she'll understand my case well. At this point, my son reported abuse. You failed to protect him. He was...
Remove the videos from social media.
Good night, officer.
I'm advising you.
And I'm asking you to leave now, please.
Offences under the Malicious Communications Act.
Good night, officer.
Having said that, I'll leave you to it, thank you.
Good night, officer. And may I ask, please do not come back to my house and disturb again.
We'll probably need to speak to you tomorrow.
I don't think you will. I haven't committed any offences, officer, so you needn't be speaking to me at any point.
You may well have done, I'm afraid.
No, I don't think I have. You came to my house recording me. I have a right to record you. This is my home. If you don't want to be recorded, don't knock on my door.
In what critics are calling a chilling display of state overreach and political selectivity, British police reportedly raided a woman's home at 2:00 am, demanding she delete social media posts that allegedly caused someone anxiety. The incident, now circulating widely on social media and drawing backlash from civil liberties advocates, is the latest example fueling the growing controversy over the Labour Party's implicit endorsement of what many now describe as a two-tier policing strategy. According to witness accounts and preliminary reports, the woman, whose identity remains undisclosed for legal reasons, was awakened in the middle of the night by officers demanding immediate access to her phone and social media accounts. Their objective? To force the deletion of videos that, while legal and non-threatening, had reportedly made a third party feel unsafe and distressed. No charges were filed, no crime was committed, and yet, under the loosely defined umbrella of hate incidents and malicious communications, the police executed what appears to be an intimidation-style visit, reminiscent more of East Germany's Stasi than the modern British justice system. This incident marks a sharp inflection point in the United Kingdom's ongoing debate over free speech, digital censorship, and the expanding powers of law enforcement under the guise of inclusivity and protection. In particular, it casts a damning spotlight on Labour's increasingly controversial approach to public order and speech regulation. Labour leader Keir Starmer, himself a former director of public prosecutions, has faced growing criticism for what many perceive to be a hands-off attitude toward political policing. while party leadership vocally supports greater community sensitivity and inclusive policing. Critics argue that this has evolved into a framework that disproportionately prioritizes the emotional comfort of certain groups while cracking down on the lawful expression of others. This is not community policing. It's ideological policing, said former Home Secretary Suella Braverman. We are now in a situation where British citizens can be visited by police in the dead of night, not because they broke the law, but because someone felt offended. That is not justice. That is authoritarianism disguised as compassion. Perhaps most telling is the Labour Party's near total silence in the face of the growing controversy. With the general election on the horizon, Stormer and his communications team appear to be calculating that quiet complicity is safer than defending an unpopular position.